What's up, the John Squad? This is John Palin here, your YouTube World Heavyweight Champion here on YouTube, and I'm coming at you today with my WWE Monday Night Raw review for April 29, 2019. So let's do this, shall we, John Squad? So we kicked off the Monday Night Raw with a moment of bliss, and Alexa Bliss announces the four Money in the Bank participants for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. So she announces the four ones, and the four of them is, and the first one is Ricochet. Then it's Braun Strowman, then Drew McIntyre, and then Baron Corbin. So Corbin cuts a promo and talks to Ricochet, and then they go at it, all four of them, and Drew McIntyre talks about last week, what happened with him and Baron Corbin and stuff, and then Corbin says, and then Drew McIntyre says that he is winning the Money in the Bank, but then Braun tells everyone that he is going to be winning the Money in the Bank, and that everyone will get these hands, and that's what happens here. So then Braun Strowman makes it be him and Ricochet versus Baron Corbin and Drew McIntyre for the first match. So then we have our first match, and that is the first match on Raw was Baron Corbin and Drew McIntyre versus Braun Strowman and Ricochet, and the winner was Ricochet and Braun Strowman. So then the second match on Raw was the Usos versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, and the winner was the Usos. After the match, the Usos get on the mic and show what they did earlier today to the Revivals when they caught them backstage, shaving each other's backs, and that was pretty funny right there. So then the Revival come out and talk to the Usos about them shaving each other's backs, and just talk to the Usos. So then we had a Miz TV segment, and his guest was Bobby Lashley. So the Miz welcomes out his guest Bobby Lashley, and the Miz talks about Bobby Lashley's potential, and then what happens here is that Bobby Lashley tells the Miz what the answers that he wants, the answers that he wants the Miz to answer. So that's what he says. So then all of a sudden, Bobby Lashley brings up the Miz's father, and then them two start to go at it, and them two start to have a brawl. So then that leads up to the match. So then the third match on Raw was the Miz versus Bobby Lashley, and then during the match, Shane McMahon puts the Miz's father on the Titantron, a picture of the Miz's father on the Titantron, the picture of the Miz's father face on the Titantron, and Shane McMahon tries to interfere in the match, but then, unfortunately, the winner of this match was Bobby Lashley. He beats The Miz, but then after the match, Shane McMahon beats on The Miz. Shane McMahon's beat up on The Miz. Shane McMahon gets on the mic and calls himself the best in the world and hits Miz in the head with the microphone. So then the next match on Raw was the Viking Raiders versus the Lucha House Parties, and the winner was the Viking Raiders. After the match, the Viking Raiders go and attack Lindsay Dorado, but then next thing you know is that Lindsay Dorado tries to fight back, but that all else fails, and the Viking Raiders just leave him flat out. So then we had another moment of bliss segment where she announces four members of the Raw Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and that is Natalya, Dana Brooke, and Naomi. And then she says she's gonna be in the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. She puts herself in there. She declares herself in there. So then Naomi starts to want to challenge Alexa Bliss to the match. So then the fifth match on Raw was Alexa Bliss versus Naomi, and the winner was Naomi. So then we had Alexa Bliss gets interviewed by Charlie Caruso, and she talks about other things about her winning the Raw and SmackDown Women's title, and then talks about the odds and stuff like that. Talks about how about a year ago that she never thought that she'll be main event in WrestleMania, and then that nobody never thought that she'll main event WrestleMania, but she did, and that's what she talks about. So then she grabs the mic from Charlie Crusoe, and then she grabs the mic from her and starts to cut a promo, and then she calls out Lacey Evans, and Lacey Evans comes out, and them two start to have a brawl, and all things break loose between Lacey Evans and Becky Lynch. And then what happens next is that all things break loose between Becky Lynch and Lacey Evans, and the refs and other people from backstage have to go and break them up, and Becky Lynch stands tall to end the segment. And another match you had on Raw was Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins versus the Revival, and the winner was Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. Then we had an in-ring promo with Sami Zayn, and he talks about last week when he showed images from his trip and stuff like that, from recovering from shoulder surgery and stuff like that. Then he talked about physical, how do you pronounce that word? Physically entitlement. That's what Sami Zayn talked about, and talks about how he owned a 5-year-old kid nothing. That's what he talks about. He owns these fans nothing. And that's what he talks about. He owns these fans nothing. And that the WWE Universe, that's what he talks about, the WWE Universe. And he just goes on a rant about it and talks about that he's going to be that he's going to be changing everything. That's what Sami Zayn just typically just talks about and just rants on about it, and he talks about the everything else, and Sami Zayn just rants on like he did last week. So that's basically what he talked about. It's good old Sami Zayn, and he talked about physical entitlement to the WWE Universe. So that's what he talked about, physicality entitlement. So that's what he talked about, this to the WWE Universe. So then we had Rey Mysterio versus Samoa Joe, and the winner was Rey Mysterio. He beat Samoa Joe. About time. And I can see Rey Mysterio getting a United States Championship title shot against Samoa Joe. Leave your comments down below. Do you see Rey Mysterio getting a United States Championship title shot against Samoa Joe? I think he will be. So then we had on Raw was the final part we had on Raw was an AJ Styles and Seth Rollins contract signing for the WWE Universal Championship. So then Michael Cole welcomes out AJ Styles. Then he welcomes out Seth Rollins, and Michael Cole asks AJ Styles a question about him, that what he wants to do to win the Universal Championship. So then AJ Styles answers the question, and then he tells Seth Rollins that he's not going to be, he's not the first AJ Styles, and he never will be. Since Seth Rollins replies back to him and says that he only wants to be the first Seth Rollins. That's what Seth Rollins tells him. So, and that Seth Rollins tells AJ Styles that he has to be phenomenal to take this title away from him at Money in the Bank. So then, what happens next is that AJ Styles signs the contract, then Seth Rollins signs the contract, then AJ Styles grabs Seth Rollins' Universal Championship belt, gives it right back to him, and the next thing you know it is that, then two start to have a fight. AJ Styles sucker punches Seth Rollins, just punches him down to the ground. Then next thing you know is that Rollins beats up on AJ Styles, and then next thing you know it is that Rollins does a suicide dive outside the ring onto AJ Styles. Then Rollins gets back inside the ring. Then AJ Styles does the phenomenal forearm onto AJ Styles through the table of the contract signing, and that's what ends WWE Monday Night Raw last night, with AJ Styles standing tall to end WWE Monday Night Raw last night. Whew, that was a lot to talk about the John Squad. So I hope you enjoyed this WWE Monday Night Raw review. So once again, the John Squad, please like this video, leave your comments down below, and subscribe for more. Oh, and I can't forget this last part in case I forget. They also had a weird thing with Bray Wyatt painting a picture of a burning house with a Firefly Funhouse segment they had, so can't forget to include that one. It was just a pretty weird one, but anyway, so once again, the John Squad, please like this video, leave your comments down below. Thank you for joining me here on my WWE Monday Night Raw review, or my WWE Raw review. And if you enjoy this, please slap a like on this video, leave your comments down below, and don't forget to tap that bell on the YouTube app so you never miss my videos when I upload. Peace out, the John Squad. Peace.